We're now joined by Bianca Botes. She's the Corporate Treasury Management at Peregrine Treasury Solutions, and she'll be talking to us about hedging a cryptocurrency risk. A very good morning to you, Bianca. When we talk about cryptocurrency, now there's price fluctuations that happen all the time, and it all looks so interesting, and it all looks like we have to get in there, but there's a lot of risk associated to cryptocurrencies, right?
Good morning. Yes, absolutely. I do think that a lot of people have looked at cryptocurrency because of the volatility and then also because of the price hiking to try and get short-term yields out of it. As with any assets, the moment that you are prone to volatility, there is risk associated with it, and you need to take the appropriate steps to go and hedge that risk out. In the view of Peregrine Treasury Solutions, we don't deem it to be an asset class as such, but rather a means of exchange rather than a store of value. In terms of going to hedge cryptocurrency, there is different ways to do it. The most obvious way and the most risk-averse way to do it is to go and hedge it for fiat money. So that will be your normal exchange currency, US dollars, rands, euros, and actually determining a fixed price in the future for the sale of your cryptocurrency.
Bianca, there's been a lot of excitement over cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin, with record sales of about $4,000 for a coin. But then they also say if your shoe shiner is giving you financial advice, then probably it's time to sell. Question is, how do you hedge against this movement, and how do you know if your investment is in the right decision in the wake of all the hype and excitement?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people has engaged in Bitcoin in particular. However, the volatility seen in it is concerning. I mean, if your equity portfolio all of a sudden moves by 20% overnight, you would maybe consider getting into a position where you either hedge that risk or remove yourself out of that position. The Bitcoin market has entered a bear position for the first time since inception, and I think due to this, the need for hedging has approached the market quite rapidly. The hedging market is quite underdeveloped in this space, and I think it will continue to be underdeveloped. But there are alternatives, like for instance taking out a forward contract in terms of US dollars to ensure that you never get less than what you paid for your Bitcoin. Alternatively, if you do understand the cryptocurrency a bit better and you are more sophisticated in that field, you can go look at derivative platforms specifically designed for cryptocurrency, and an example of those are something like Hedging or BitServe, for instance.
In terms of the cryptocurrencies, you spoke a bit about money. How does it all fit in when it comes to money?
So when we look at the conventional terminology of money and how it's used in day-to-day economics, there's three ways you can look at it. It's either an indication of your economic value, it's a store of value, or it can be used as a medium of exchange. I think in terms of Bitcoin, a lot of people has misplaced the conception of where it fits in. Yes, it's deemed or branded as a currency, but if you look at the actual terminology where currency comes from, it's legal tender issued by a central bank, regulated by monetary policy. Cryptocurrency by no means is regulated by monetary policy, and it's not issued by a central bank. So yes, it can be used as a medium of exchange where you can go and purchase and acquire goods and services traded for Bitcoin, but that then puts it in the same line as something like a reward system, e-bucks for instance. Would you go to a store and deem e-bucks as actual physical money? Would you attach the value you have attached to Bitcoin to something like e-bucks? And I think those are the questions that consumers out there should be asking themselves when they value these currencies.
Bianca, we've seen a lot of regulators and institutions shy from backing trade of cryptocurrencies, China banning it, JP Morgan distancing itself, and a lot of African regulators warning their people against trading in such. Is this particularly hurtful to cryptocurrencies, or are we going to see a point where we will come round to the table and have the regulators endorse it?
I think until such a point where it can be regulated efficiently, a lot of regulators will denounce it, along with most asset houses. The biggest problem is that it is lucrative to underground dealing at the moment because it can't be traced or tracked by any means. Going forward, a lot of regulators has already come to market. SARS has issued a directive saying that it is taxable in the hands of the law. the Reserve Bank has come forward saying that any institution or person accepting trade in Bitcoin will do so at their own risk because of the risk that lies within it in terms of fraud, hacking of the blockchain system. But moving forward, I think that legislation coming to market is going to play a massive role in actually determining the value of cryptocurrency moving forward.
One last question, Bianca. There's been concern about the involvement with cryptocurrencies and crime, say trafficking of drugs and other contrabands. And probably this is the reason why a lot of regulators would want to shy away. But going forward, what do you see as the future of cryptocurrencies, seeing as it has already gained acceptance despite being shunned by regulators?
I think the future of cryptocurrency is going to be quite a colorful one. Firstly, it needs to be regulated as any other currency. Secondly, I think that it needs to be legally accepted in terms of the greater scope of what do we see as money and what don't we see as money, what is accepted as legal tender and what isn't. Any project, any asset, any process that enables criminal activity to take place should be shunned. But I think moving forward, the blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, virtual currency as such, will definitely lead the way in financial markets moving forward.
Thank you so much for joining us, Bianca Botes. He's the Corporate Treasury Management at Peregrine Treasury Solutions.